Once upon a time, in a small village nestled among the lush hills of Western Africa, there lived a boy named Chinedu. Chinedu was known for his wide smile and boundless energy, traits inherited from his late mother who had passed away when he was just a toddler. His father, Okafor, remarried a woman named Uju, who came with 2 children of her own. Life with Uju was not easy for Ugo. She favored her own children over him, often assigning him the hardest chores and giving him the least to eat. Despite this, Chinedu remained kind-hearted and always tried to please his stepmother in hopes of winning her approval. One sunny morning, Uju called Chinedu into the small hut they called home. "Chinedu, take these fruits to the market and sell them. Bring back the money, or else," she ordered sternly, her eyes cold and unyielding. "Yes, ma," Chinedu replied obediently, taking the basket of ripe mangoes and bananas. He knew better than to argue with Uju. She had a temper that could flare like a brush fire in the dry season. The walk to the market was long, but Chinedu didn't mind. He enjoyed the bustle of the marketplace, the vibrant colors of fabrics, the chatter of buyers and sellers, the scent of spices that hung in the air. He set up his makeshift stall under the shade of a baobab tree and began calling out to passers-by, trying to entice them with his fruits. As the day wore on, Chinedu managed to sell most of his fruits. He was counting his coins when a group of strangers approached him. They were dressed in worn-out clothes and had rough, weathered faces. One of them, a tall man with a scar across his cheek, smiled at Chinedu. "Boy, you've done well for yourself," he said in a voice that sent shivers down Chinedu's spine. Before Chinedu could react, strong hands grabbed him roughly and tied his hands behind his back. He struggled and cried out for help, but the men gagged him and dragged him away from the market, deeper into the surrounding forest. For days, Chinedu was forced to walk with the group of men through dense forest and across dry riverbeds. He had been kidnapped and was now being taken far away from his village. Fear and confusion gripped his heart as he wondered what would become of him. Eventually, they reached a large village unlike any he had ever seen. The people here wore different clothes and spoke a language he didn't understand. The men who had taken him spoke to a well-dressed man who seemed to be in charge. Chinedu was pushed forward and presented to this man, who inspected him with a critical eye. "He will do," the man finally said, nodding in approval. Chinedu was then handed over to another group of men who treated him roughly, forcing him into a small, dark hut with several other boys around his age. Chinedu learned that he had been sold into slavery. He and the other boys were to work in the fields, tending to crops under the relentless sun. They were given little food and water, and beatings were common for the smallest mistakes. Months passed, and Chinedu never gave up hope of escaping. He befriended some of the other boys, and together they plotted their freedom. One moonless night, they managed to slip away from their captors, running through the thick jungle undergrowth until they reached a small village where kind-hearted villagers took them in. With the help of these villagers, Chinedu was eventually reunited with his father, Okafor, who had never stopped searching for him. Tears flowed freely as father and son embraced, their bond stronger than ever. He got to know that his stepmother Uju has left the house due to some fight and argument with Okafor about his disappearance. Although the scars of his ordeal remained, Chinedu was determined to rebuild his life. He vowed to never forget the friends he had lost to slavery and to always cherish the freedom he now enjoyed.